AITA for flipping out on my son's school after they lied to him about donation prizes. I will try not keep this short with just points rather than description. If info is needed, please ask. Son is in 4th grade. School is only open on Mondays. The rest of the week he is home with me. I don't do virtual learning during the rest of the week. No Zoom calls are made. No teacher actually checks in. Homework at home is not to be sent back to the school and instead they get a participation grade the following week if they tell their teacher they completed it. It's backwards and your students aren't being graded for the work they actually do. Every Monday we get a new flyer in the mail asking for donations. Last week we got a flyer that said to send out 20 emails to individuals to ask them for donations, with the promise of prizes for participation. They also had other prizes on this flyer. Basically, the more people who donate using your name, the bigger the prize you get. My son wanted the headphones prize. Nowhere on the flyer did it say how many donations was needed. I called the school to ask and they said 12. I sent out the 20 emails. 14 people donated. Donation list was to be emailed to the school with the student ID and we were to pick up the prizes this past Monday. Son was losing his mind excited because he got the 12 donations needed for the headphones. We walk in and they proceed to tell me and my son that he did not qualify for the prize because in order to be eligible, you needed to get those 20 donations. Apparently the prizes for donations started counting after you received the 20. They turned damn near every student away, not just my kid. So I sent the boy out with his father and pulled the teacher and principal aside to let them know that I thought it was fucked up that they got these kids' hopes up for absolutely nothing and that all they accomplished was destroying the children's spirits by lying to their faces. I then told them that I was told by the secretary that he only needed 12 donations for those headphones. They said sorry you feel that way. This is just how things are right now due to COVID. So I responded with so lying to students and breaking their spirits is okay because of COVID. Failing to provide virtual learning for the rest of the week like other schools is okay because of COVID. Asking for donations when the kids are only here once a week must be okay too, right? I then walked out. Well, my son got the headphones in the mail today with a note from the superintendent that said I'm very sorry for the actions of the school system and the confusion formed around the donation drive. We are trying to work with the families, not turn them away. Please accept this as an apology. My son is over the moon. My husband says that I was being a Karen and that we should have just dropped it because it teaches our son that life isn't fair and that I now look like an helicopter parent. AITA, I don't think I am. NTA. They lied, and tried to cover it up by blaming you. You taught your son to hold people accountable for the truth. Is this a public school? Because if it is a private school, I would not pay their tuition at all. They are not teaching. It is a public school. I have had issues with them in the past due to all their half-ass backwards bullshit, but this is the first time I spoke up. Hell no. NTA. And tell your husband, the superintendent doesn't get involved unless it's a big deal. That's all the proof you need, right there. NTA NTA NTA. As a teacher myself, that's messed up. Can't believe the school actually did that to the kids after everything that's going on. They basically lied and got their hopes up. You did the right damn thing. Next time they know not to play stupid games. I do hope the other kids were given a prize too. NTA. It sounds more like a pyramid scheme than a fundraiser, and by not laying out clear guidelines for prizes it allowed them to pull crap like this. They knew exactly what they were doing. Seriously, her son sounds like he goes to the Arbonne Elementary School. AITA for moving all my stuff to my guest room after my husband refused to stop turning the light on at 3 AM. My husband just got promoted to shift manager 3 weeks ago. This meant that his 10 AM to 6 PM shift has now been switched 4 AM to noon. He isn't a morning person at all, so most mornings he will start huffing and puffing as soon as his alarm goes off, and he will instantly turn on our light and very loudly start looking for his work clothes. I have asked him several times to put clothes out the night before and he has yet to do so. I have also asked him to not turn the light on or be super loud. After all, When I worked at 5 AM I made sure to be respectful of him sleeping. So yesterday morning when he got up at 3 AM and flipped on the light, I grabbed my stuff and went to the guest room. He came in and asked what I was doing. I told him that since he didn't respect me sleeping at all, that I would be staying in the guest room from now on. He made a comment about the light will only be on for 5 freaking minutes, which is not true. He turns the light on, finds himself clothes and then goes to take a shower without turning the light off. If I turn the light off, he will come back into the room after the shower and turn it on again to grab his socks and put on his shoes. Which also pisses me off because shoes stay in the kitchen by the door and there's no reason he can't put them on at the table. Anyways, instead of understanding, he just got angry. Mainly because he is not a morning person and he doesn't like dealing with anything in the AM. So, while he was at work yesterday, I moved all my stuff into the guest room. Last night he practically begged me to sleep in the bedroom and promised to let me sleep. Well, this morning he flips on the fucking light again, so I sit up and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And he says I'm being quiet. As if that was the only issue. So I went into the guest room and locked the door. I told him I was staying in here from now on despite his efforts to sway me. He thinks I'm overreacting. AITA, edit for the trolls of Reddit, I do in fact work. So your assumption that I don't is not only mislead but pretty ignorant. Also, the assumption that everything I have is due to my husband working, another ignorant statement. Not that it matters for the context of this post, but I work 4 PM to midnight. And cute little tidbit, I'm the breadwinner. I make nearly $5 more on my hourly wage. Take that info and shove it. Update, thanks for all the awards and awesome feedback. I am in search of a, hopefully, lightweight mask that one of you suggested. I hope it works. NTA, he is being completely disrespectful. Honestly, if he can't get up in the middle of the night without waking his partner, he should be the one sleeping in the guest room. But since he seems to be completely inconsiderate, I recommend you stay there. You are not overreacting, not even a little. NTA, my boyfriend gets up hours before me and simply kisses me goodbye and then grabs his clothes and leaves the room. He showers, dresses and gets ready in the bathroom and brushes his teeth in the kitchen sink to avoid waking up the rest of the house. Haha. He leave the curtains open on a night so he has enough light to see what he's doing. Maybe he can compromise with a torch or something. Sadly it sounds like it's a lot more than just a light that he is being inconsiderate about, and looks like you should stay in the spare room until he can improve. I definitely agree it's about more than the light. I had an ex that did this and I was completely baffled as to how please don't turn on the light and start asking me for things in the mornings where I don't have to get up early was somehow a complicated request. But in retrospect, that relationship had a ton of issues and the waking was just one of the symptoms of general toxicity. So, my boyfriend kisses me and gently tucks me into the covers when he leaves earlier than me, and it makes me feel like the coziest, happiest person in the whole world. NTA, fuck that. My husband works Saturday mornings and he gets up and gets dressed in the dark or takes his stuff into the bathroom and gets dressed there to avoid waking me. And I do the same in normal times when I commute to work and get up before he does. Doesn't even need to do that. They have a spare bedroom. Why can't he just leave his work clothes there the night before? Question mark. AITA for not giving my brother and wife the bigger room. My brother's wife lost her job, which has caused them to lose the house they were renting. My brother asked if he could stay with me. I talked to my BF and he said sure. So, I told my brother yes, but he can't bring any of their furniture with them. We don't have any room for any of it. Our spare room has a bed and dressers in it already. He'll have to find a place to store their things. He wasn't happy about it, but said okay, and that was that. When they started moving their clothes and whatnot in, they started complaining about how small the room was. I ignored it, because they were used to a rather large house. And I was sympathetic, because I know how it feels to go from having everything to nothing. I apologized and told them that this was the best we had. Issue: my son was in his room, and started crying. Went in there to check on him, and my brother got mad. I usually keep his door closed when he's napping. I have a baby monitor, and I guess my brother saw how large his room is. It's not big at all by any means. It's just bigger than the spare room. He asked why the hell we gave him the small room when we can just move our son into the spare room. Told him I'm not moving my son and all his things into a different room when the spare bedroom is perfectly fine for the two of them as long as they don't try to move their entire house into one room. He got mad. She got mad. They threw a fit. Then my brother asked why we don't move my son into our room. I told him that my son's crib won't fit in our room. And again, I'm not moving him just to accommodate them. The last week or so has been very tense. Small comments here. Cold shoulder there. Petty shoulder checks from his wife if we cross close together. I've kept my mouth shut, because I love my brother, and I don't want to cause trouble. Plus, if they weren't so pissy, I guess is the word, they wouldn't be hard to live with. They've started to complain that my son's crying at night is keeping them awake. Which, I get, but he's a baby. He only wakes once a night to eat. And that's not even all the time. This morning it all came to a head when my brother told me I should move into the spare room and let them have mine and my boyfriend's room so that they don't get woke up by the baby. When I told him no, he started yelling, calling me selfish and entitled. Told me that I should let them have my room, because my son is an annoying little shit that keeps them up every night, all night. Where I may be the asshole, I saw red. Let me start this by saying I did not yell at my brother as he yelled at me. I said if you can't appreciate the room you were given, you can go elsewhere. My boyfriend and I have been more than accommodating to you. You constantly complain. You're ungrateful and rude. Get over yourself or get out of my house. ETA, I'm asking if I'm TA because my mother called and told me I'm an asshole for not giving the married couple the big bedroom with the connected bathroom. And apparently my other siblings agree. ETA too, they do not pay rent. My boyfriend and I own our home and don't pay anything on it. They pay the difference on the electricity bill and buy some of their own groceries. I do the majority of the cooking and all the cleaning. ETA 3, boyfriend and I are going to talk about kicking them out tonight when he gets off work. ETA 4, I will update you all tomorrow, smiley face. Natar. Your brother called your son, a literal baby, an annoying shit. Girl, you need to evict him and his wife yesterday. He does not get to cause an inconvenience in your home to your family, insult your child, and make sleeping arrangement demands because he's bitter he has a smaller room than he wanted. Calling me selfish and entitled. Told me that I should let them have my room, because my son is an annoying little shit that keeps them up every night, all night. That is some goddamn nerve right there to call you entitled and insult your infant son when you are giving them a place to live and accommodating their whiny, entitled asses. And TA, I wouldn't even call you an asshole if you told them to be out by the end of the month. Can you even be selfish and entitled in your own home that you pay for as an adult? Question mark. Oh absolutely NTA. Shoulder checks as in she physically hits your shoulder with her shoulder. That would have been enough for me to kick them out. How can they be so entitled? I'm glad you stood up for yourself and family. I think it's time they leave for good.